Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher here at Sweetwater Sound, and today's Synth Clips is going to be about naming patches and saving multiple instances of patches while you're editing. As always, if you want to see these in order, there's a link to the playlist in the info section. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any further questions, you can go to sweetwater.com. I've already shown you, if you've watched these in order, I've already shown you that it's really important, one, to learn how to save the entire bank of your synth safely and know that you can bring it back and prove that you brought it back, so that you get over this worry of, oh, I'm going to ruin the preset patches, which hopefully by the time you've watched a bunch of these, you're going to stop worrying about that forever, because you're going to find your own patches are always better than everybody else's patches, because every single element of it is going to be your decision to what you like, and it really should make patches that you like. But I find that as you work on a patch, especially if you work on it for a long time over a period of hours with headphones, and then you go to sleep and you wake up the next morning, you're like, ew, why did I think that was a great sounding patch? And it happens. One example is we tend to like things a little bit brighter than they were. Not always true, but just an example. And so you might turn the patch's brightness up. You might open the filter a little or boost treble on EQ or something. Go, ooh, that's nicer. And what happens is your ear gets used to that. And then you do that again and again and again. And if you go to sleep, you wake up the next day and all of a sudden you're like, how on earth did I program a patch that bright? So what you want to do is, now every time you make an important change to one of your patches, you should save it to a new location. And the only way you can do that, especially on a synth where most of the locations are filled up, is if you first save everything and learn how to do that, and then create an init patch, and we have a whole synth clips just on that. But then I want you to copy that patch either with the editor librarian or just keep saving to the next patch till you have a whole bunch of inits. And then when you make a sound that you like, and this is a pipe organ I had made, and so of course I like it. So I play it. Let's say I've just made this and like, oh, I really like that. So here's what you do. First of all, never save anything as a init, because you need the freedom to know that if you see a location that says init, you know that you can save over it. So if you haven't named it something else, that patch could get blown away just because you weren't paying attention. So here's my theory on naming. Treat it like it doesn't matter what the name is for right now. Just go with what your gut says, right? So, you know, if I'm playing this and I hear it, I'm going to think pipes, right? So name it pipes. So I'm going to go save, and then I just P-I-P. And S. And you can always rename it later, but the important thing that is that it doesn't say init, right? And so now I save it. And there's my pipes. And I look, and there's my pipes. And now let's say, and I'm going to be using these macros where I've already set up things. So I'm going to be making changes that are very easy to change just for demonstration here. But let's say that I wanted to increase some of the air going through the pipe. So I already have a macro named pipe air. Now the pipes are kind of breathy, right? Don't save it to that location. Save it to the next location. You don't even have to change the name if you want. The fact that it's in the next higher number should automatically tell you that it is your, at least, best attempt at making the patch better. You may find out otherwise over time, but for now we think it's better, so I hit save, and all I do is change the location to the next higher one. I see it says empty or init, so I know I can go there, and then I hit save. And so now I have two patches with the same name, and it's very easy to go back and forth and go, yeah, okay, I like the extra air there. I'm going to keep that. But you know what? The reverb seems kind of wet. So I'm going to ease up on the reverb a little. And I'm going to change the volume of pipe 2 just arbitrarily here. And pipe 4. And I'm going to save that right now before I do anything else. And I'm going to just increase the number one slot. I can see that that slot's empty, and I hit save. And so now I have 3 patches, all named pipes. And if I find one that is like, oh man, I just made it ugly, you could, I suppose, just save your next patch over that one. But honestly, if you have an entire bank of init patches that you can just keep saving over, it's to your benefit to save every major improvement that you make to your patch, because it's so nice the next day to go through with clear, fresh ears and scroll through and try them all and see what it sounds like. And then when you find the one you're like, wow, that's the one, now go ahead and give it a prettier name, put your initials at the end, whatever it is you do to your patches, you know, give it a category. If there's a tempo, assign that. Do all the other tricks for arpeggiation, preset, and all that. Make sure it's the right octave. But right now, you're just creating as many possible iterations as you can. And so I'll go one step farther. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to the next location, that's blank. And now I have more. And so, you know, you can see I've got pipes, 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 pipes. Then I could take this bank and save the whole bank as pipes, you know, and then I can just go back and listen to them all and decide which one I want. There's nothing like having each of the stages of your programming. And now what usually happens, especially if I'm doing it and I'm trying some radical things, and especially if I'm trying it 2, 3, 4 in the morning, which is when I end up doing a lot of my programming, I'll try something crazy and really like it, maybe the next day not like it so much. And the beauty is it's just so easy to go back one patch and like, there we go. I really went off track starting from these patches on. So you just take that patch, save it to the end of the chain, and now go from there. And the whole concept, in fact, the whole concept of these synth clips are that it's kind of like when you go to an eye doctor, you know, and they go, which is better, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, and you say 2, and then they turn it different. What do you like, 6 or 7, 6 or 7? You're like, I like 7. And when you're done, and they put them on, you look at the chart like, oh, that's gorgeous. And it's like that with synthesis. For each parameter, you try something and you save it to the location, you go back and forth, which one do you like? I like this one. That's the one you're gonna move on to the next slot and now try something else to add to that to make it even better. Then which of those 2 do I like? This one. Then I'm gonna keep moving forward. And it's a process. I know there's a thing on here called ratchet, but I use the word ratchet as well for my programming style to mean that you're always trying to just make it one click better and not fall backwards. And if you do fall backwards where the patch is not as good as the previous one, you want to be able to skip that one, go back to the one that's better, and then continue ratcheting up from there. And if you keep doing that, your patches can only get better and better and better. So that's it for this little synth clip on naming your patches, saving them over inits that you had made, and then always trying to get each patch location better than the previous one, and then most important, auditioning them another day to make sure that you really are moving forward, and if you're not, moving the one that's the best to the end of the list and then keep going. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any further questions about the ASM Hydrosynth, please contact your Sweetwater sales.